Hi, I'm Jeremy Williams and I'm from lunkercatch.com, and I'm here with James Caldemeyer, Lake Fork guide extraordinaire. He's one of the best guys out here, and we're going to go over drop shot today, specifically how to tie a drop shot knot and how long you want your leader, and possibly what baits to use.
Right now at Lake Fork, and it's summertime and the fish are in their post-spawn and summer patterns. And as we get into the hot months, you're going to have a lot of these fish that are going to get a little bit lethargic from the heat. One of the best ways to catch fish out here in the big fish also is to downsize your lures or your bait. Just use something that's smaller to present to them when they're lethargic like that. You'll have an opportunity to catch them when normally you wouldn't catch them throwing something big and heavy. And that's where the drop shot comes into play. Right here I've got my rig that I use out here. It's a Veritas medium light 6'9" rod, and it's got a Revo Premier 20 on it, spinning reel, and it's an excellent combination for a drop shot rig if you're looking to get into one that's got a lot of action and very sensitive and durable and doesn't really cost a lot of money. What I like to use on my spinning reel is the new Berkley Nano-Fill. It's a fused line, and it's very strong. It's also very durable in rocks or abrasion areas. It also comes off the reel very smooth. So if you've ever tried to use a fluorocarbon line on your spinning reel, you find a lot of times that it just jumps off the spool. Well, I like to use fluorocarbon, but I don't like to use it on my main spool. I'll tie in a leader to the Nano-Fill. This is a Nano-Fill 10-pound test, and what I've got tied into it right now is 10-pound Trilene 100% professional grade fluorocarbon. And this is the knot that I like to use to put the Nano-Fill and fluorocarbon together. It's a knot I've been tying for years. My dad taught me, and it really doesn't have a name, I guess, but we use it and it does real well. And so you just take two tag ends, you know, kind of put them side by side there, and then reach in the middle and leave yourself enough line to where tag ends go down. And then what I'll do is I'll just hold my finger and I'll spin it 3 times like this and hold it, and then take the 2 tag ends. I can get a hold of them here. I'll take the 2 tag ends and I'll stick them through that hole. And the main thing is, you really want, anytime you're tying a knot with fluorocarbon, you want to make sure and get a lot of you know, spit on them or get them real wet with water before you cinch them down, because otherwise it'll burn the line. So I put my mouth over it like that and just hold it down and pull it together just like that. And then what I'll do is I'll take and snip the 2 tag ends off. And what it does is it leaves a lot smaller knot to go through your guides and to go through your, you know, into your reel if you leave that much on there. But and it's strong. So and then what I do is, then when I'm done tying my fluorocarbon into my Nano-Fill, I'm going to take and I want to attach my hook. And this is real important, because it's important how you put your hook on here in order to get the action that you need to get out of your bait for drop shot. And I'll take and I'll run. It doesn't matter really which way. I usually go through the bottom, and I'll run that through there and just tie a normal Palomar knot into the line and through and over, and then back through, and then I bring it over the hook. And then same thing as I said before, make sure and wet it. That way it pulls down without burning the line, because anytime you burn the line, it's going to weaken it. So make sure and get it plenty wet. Now here's the important part. You can see by holding that just like it is, with the way that bait would be standing, with this being the tagging on the bottom where the weight's going to go, that hook's facing downward in a quartering angle. It's not going to give your bait very much action. So in order to counter that, what you want to do is just take the tag end, the end of the line, and run it through in the eye of the hook and pull the tag in straight down until you actually pull the knot into the eye of that hook. And then that's what you get out of it. Your hook standing upright, and it's going to give your bait a lot more action. Out here, depending on the situation, right now we're fishing out deep, so I like to use a longer separation between my weight and my hook. This is just a drop shot weight with a little wedge in it that's real handy. They're lead and they're not expensive, and I'll slide that line through there, and then I can adjust it, you know, actually to wherever I want it to be size wise. Right now I'm using about a 14 to 16 inch length space between my weight and the hook, and then I just pull the line up and cinch it into that crease right there. What I'll do is some guys like to leave their tag in like that, and they can adjust it later on if they want to, but because we've got so much junk down there on the bottom here at Lake Fork, I'll take and just push that tag in through, just tie a loop in it like that, and pull it tight, and then that way I can snip off the excess right there like that. So then what I've got here is I've got my whole setup now together, where if I can get it untangled here, it's all together now. There's the weight, and there's the hook standing up straight, and I'm ready to apply whatever bait I'm using to catch fish. Right now we've been using the new Berkley Power Bait. This is the new rib snake from Berkley, and I'm telling you, this thing has a ton of action. If you're looking for something that's very subtle and small and a finesse type worm that has a lot of action, this is a great one to use. And because this bait is a little bit more thick than, say, like like the Berkley bottom hopper finesse worm is a great worm. I use that a lot out here too, and I'll actually just take it and put this one right here just through the back of the nose of the bait, and I'll pull it in through there, and just to barely, where I can just barely feel the hook point, because I want it to be able to pull through. But you can see when you pull that thing up and you figure in the buoyancy of the water, it's going to have that thing out there, and it's just going to shake as you move along. Sometimes you don't even really have to move the bait. If it's windy and you've got waves and such, the bait just kind of hangs out here and flutters around by itself without very little movement of the rod tip. So it's a great action bait to use in a finesse approach to catching big bass on Lake Fork in the summertime. I want to encourage any of you that are coming out to give it a try, and hope this helps you in your success of catching the fish of your dreams.
That's going to be it for today. I appreciate James doing this with us. We're going to try to do some more instructional videos for you guys, and hopefully this does help you. And if you're in Lake Fork, or if you want to come visit Lake Fork, please look up James so you can get a guided trip, and he'll show you where the big fish are at, and you'll have a great time.